Well, I don't know. How are we streaming? There we go. There we go. How's everyone doing? All right. How's everyone doing? All right. Remember, I'm just getting back from a trip. So, honestly, the stream was supposed to start an hour ago, and I have spent this entire hour replugging in cables and figuring out why crap isn't working. Like, to the random, even like, my audio isn't coming through the same ports. So the stuff gets streamed out to a Mac Mini, and it used to come through on the same port, the desktop audio, which is what the music's coming through on, and my voice. They used to come through on the same audio channel. Now they don't. I'm leaving it because I can't figure out why, and it's fine. It's fine. But there was a lot of stuff like that. There was a lot of stuff like that. Also, it looks like I'm darker. I think I need to lighten it up a little bit. I look a little... Oddly, this blue is not dark at all. Oh my goodness. There's so many cables. There are so many cables. That, I've had to try to put back together. I need to come up with a more road trip worthy. Packing up all my stuff is not the answer. It's a lot of stuff, by the way. All right, what are we doing? Well, we're just gonna work on some Rust and hang out for a little bit. I'm happy to talk about some, software engineering, whatever people would like to talk about. I don't have a huge agenda except just to get into the swing. I am actually going to walk around my cameras and update the ISO just a little because other than this blue, it looks a little dark. It's a little dark. All right. That's better. That's better. I'll get this. This is in the way just because it's there. It's there. There we go. That's as much as I have to say about it. I'm building some sound panels. Some more of the things that's pink in the back there. And these are going to be covered with this blue fabric. So yeah. All right, let's get enough of me talking. All right, let's see. You know what I haven't checked on recently? You know what I haven't checked on? How's Zed coming to Linux? How is that? How is the Linux issue? Linux. Boom. It seems like it's coming along. They had a tracking issue. I was hoping I was hoping to see that. Let's see. Linux tracking. Linux roadmap. Here we go. Here we go. 8 of 25 tasks. So we're still a little off. We're still a little off. Okay. So, no Zed tonight. Close. Close. Not quite there. All right, cool. All right, I went here, but what we were going to do is work on our Twitch alerts, I think. You know, I probably should put that in the stream title. People would be more interested in that. Let's see. I put HTMX in the title. We're just not going to tell people that clicked on that I'm not going to get to it today. Oops. I think we are going to move this to HTMX though. So, you know, it's happening. All right, let's get into, let's see. Oh, you know what? One thing that we could do is jump in here. We were trying to build. With native TLS instead of open TLS. Because it would just make things more easy. Right. In fact, it's kind of needed for this to work. What we did was we installed OpenSSL on here to just kind of make it work, but this wasn't the right thing. We need to delete that and make this work without OpenSSL, which the thing that we were doing, if we remember, we were basically updating SQLX, I think was the last thing that we needed to, I think is the last thing that we needed to update. So we just need to look through each one of these that has SQLX and make sure it has this workspace equals true. And then if it does, we should be golden. So that one's good. Does not use SQLX. Uses SQLX, but uses workspace equals true. Doesn't look to use SQLX. I should have grepped this. Definitely should have grepped this. Shouldn't. Yeah, should. Hopefully it doesn't. This one should. Yep, uses workspace equals true. Did we already do this? Yeah, it looks like we did. Maybe our Docker container would build now. Did we actually ever try that? I don't know that we tried. We'll try it. All right. Then let's get into the front end while that's running. We'll see. All right. We're gonna have to make some streams on our Twitch alerts. one of the things that I wanted to do was go over the front-end architecture. All right. So what we're trying to do here is make it so that I could pause. Actually. Are our alerts back on? I think our alerts are back on. Yeah, they should be. But what we didn't have the ability to do last Friday, which I would love to have the ability to do, is basically pause all the alerts and let them queue up. And basically say, okay, now we're at a break. We'd like to play the alerts. We didn't have that support or that ability. So I basically just had to say, now they're still in the SQLite the SQLite database, and they're still saved in an S3 bucket or backed up into an S3 bucket. So anybody that followed or subscribed still has their stuff in that bucket on Friday. But we need to... Yeah, okay, this is... So OpenSSL... Okay, so we're still using OpenSSL. Unfortunately. Let's see, what was I trying to do? Cargo, tree, grep, OpenSSL. There we go. Tokyo Tungstenite. Uh-oh. I bet you this is the same thing that we just did. Let's see. Let's go cargo here. Let's see what we did for Tokyo Tungstenite. Rust LS, TLS. Oh, you know what? I was playing around with this. I got a little carried away. Tokyo Tungstenite. I can almost guarantee you that that is not the right way of doing that. As with native TLS or Rust LS through the feature flags. Native TLS... Yeah, I don't know which one of these. I think this is probably the right one, since I'm not doing WebPKI, so I think... Wait. I don't know what the native means, but... You know what? We'll leave it as WebPKI roots. The native scares me, but it should be Rust LS, which means it's not using... Yeah, this one should be fine. Okay, so what I need to do here is... let's see. Okay, so... We'll do that, and then what we need to do is basically find all the other cargoes with Tokyo Tungstenite and update them. Which, let's see. Shouldn't be a ton of places. Should just be the front end, right? I think it should just be the front end. Tokyo Tungstenite right there. We can look really quickly, but I think... Does this use Tokyo Tungstenite? I don't think it does. Maybe it does? Yeah. Let's see. And then we were talking about the front-end API also uses this. Good job not getting it all what I needed there. That was beautiful. Copilot, beautiful. Okay, let's do this. Hyper TLS. Uh-oh. Open SSL probe. Interesting. So this is in the Rust LS native certs. I'll leave that one. Maybe that one's fine. Wait. So in this, we have Hyper TLS. In Tokyo Tungstenite. Did I miss one? Actually, let's grab Tokyo Tungstenite. Workspace equals true. That's the main one. Workspace equals true. Workspace equals true. So we got this. Now, of course, we could do this to the web PKI, right? Actually, let's do that. I just want to see what this looks like. So that does get rid of this, but I think that's maybe okay. It's really Hyper that we have to look at now. Isn't this fun? Isn't this type of work the fun part? Wait, how do you spell hyper? Yeah, HYP. Okay. Wait. Oh, that was not great. HYP. All right. So. Oh. We have Hyper and Hyper TLS. Oh. Let's look at this. How do I tell this to be? How? Features? Can you tell me? Native TLS. APLN. ALPN. Is this it? It appears no. That's not what I needed to do. I didn't need to build it locally. Because locally I have OpenSSL. I needed to do Docker build. That. Okay. So yeah, it seems like APLN is the thing to do here. So that's good. Let's see if we have any other. I do think we have other hypers. You know what we probably need to do here, though, is something like... let's see. Let's see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if this can build. I mean, but I don't think it's going to build. It seems to kind of have died. Let's stop it. What? Uh-oh. HyperTLS does not have this feature. Uh-oh. APLN. That's what it said. APLN, right? ALPN. Oh, I'm such a dum-dum. I'm such a dum-dum. ALPN. Yeah, okay. Tell me now. Something's using native TLS. I didn't go up enough, did I? No, I didn't. Something's using native TLS though. Let's see. Should we be adventurous and do 60 lines? Hyper TLS. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Why did I think I was going to be able to chill? All right. Let's see. Hyper TLS. Those use workspaces. This uses ALPN. Okay. You know what? Let's do 60. I just want to validate 65. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's do this move. I'm not even sure I was using TLS with this. I was just going through and making sure everything had native TLS. I almost feel like I could just get rid of it. Something's including hyper TLS. And 85. That's my guess. 85. Give me an 85. No, more than 85. Okay. Okay, give me next number. 98. Mythical legend. Too many. Request. Okay, request. Request is using hyper TLS. But not with okay. So let's go look up request. Wait, it's request. You guys are a quiet night tonight. Our quiet group tonight. How are y'all doing? Speak to me. Let me know that you're okay. Async for blocking. No. We just need uses TLS by default. Okay, that's great. But how can we do it to native TLS? I want to configure it to. Not Rust LS. Rust LS. So I just use Rust LS TLS. Okay, that's the feature. That's the feature that we need. Request. All right. Does everybody use? No. No. Oh boy. This might be harder than I thought. Okay. We'll start here. I'm seeing two problems here, but we'll try to. Oh no, I did do it. Oh, you know what though? This is the problem. So let's go up here and check this one out, and then we'll just do the good old workspace equals true. Is that all I need to do? All I need to do? No, it's not. It is not. Let's try and use it. Then hyper TLS. Yeah, hyper TL. Wait. Hyper Rust LS. And then hyper TLS. This is the one we want. This is the one that's no bueno. It is no bueno. And it still seems to be coming through in request. Let's make sure I didn't miss one. Okay, so this is the Twitch API. This is the one that is in the main cargo. Oh, wait. This is the monolith, which is set to workspace equals true. This is the workspace, which defines it with Rust TLS. Okay. And then we have, this is just using it up there. Good. And then here we have workspace equals true. Yeah. Maybe we need to cargo clean. It's not what I wanted to see. It was not what I wanted to see. All right. Hyper TLS. Hyper Rust LS. That's. Let's go. You know what? I'm feeling like this could actually work. Probably not really, but I'm So no, not really. This isn't going to tell me what thing was opening it. Was it? No. Let's see. I didn't see anything about TLS in there. Did you guys? No. No, I didn't. Here's the request stuff. Yeah. But I don't use the... Oh, I do, because that's the client. But I do my own import of it, which should configure it. Right? Okay. Let's see. This isn't helping me. Maybe we just move on from this for a little bit. We can just do a container that has OpenSSL in it. Like and that is fine with me. Request 12.4. Let's see. Yeah, that is the version. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't. I've been looking. We could actually bump the version, right? Nope, 12.4 seems to be the latest version. Never mind. Never mind. We could try to do default TLS. Wait, what are we doing? We're doing Rust TLS. Rust LS TLS. Should I do this? I almost feel like I am in request, right? Okay. Maybe I messed this up. Although it should say this is a feature, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Of course. I screwed that up. You just got to do like right. Oh, did that make us worse? I think that maybe made us worse. We have more references to OpenSSL. Okay, OpenSSL probe should be fine, right? I think this is just the problem. OpenSSL probe is fine. It's just not configuring HyperTLS to... Right, and this is not us. Now, we could try overriding that. That's what I think we were trying to do. But you shouldn't have to do this. Yeah, and that is not working anyways. Maybe we just get writing some Rust code and we pick a container image that has... How are you guys doing on YouTube today? Yeah, at this point, we just need to pick. With OpenSSL. Quick. A little quick tweet. Let's see. Let's see. Our tweet is going to be at Adrian Mont. Right? Adrian Mont. Nope, that's not the right. One second, I don't want to show my messages. I thought that was, yeah, it's Adrian Mont. I did misspell it. If I wanted to run my Rust application that has no other dependencies I don't know what just happened, other than what's our open SSL, is there an open Wolfie based container I can use? Because I am having skill issues removing open SSL. There we go. All right. We'll get the answer. And we'll move on for tonight. Because this is the worst type of programming. All right, let's see. We were actually getting some build errors when we were building. Let's see. Let's see. How do we want to... Where cargo build bin monolith. We really don't need the release tag, do we? No, we don't. Max right buffer size and right buffer size. Ooh, that's weird. That's weird. I don't remember messing with that. A little scary. What is my OS? See, you guys put me in these places where I can't win. I can answer that. And I cannot win with answering that. I absolutely cannot win. Let's see. CD front end. We're working on the API. So what's scary about this is this code hasn't changed. Which means it's something to do with our TLS configuration stuff. Makes me almost want to just reset it. I use Arch, by the way. See? See? I can't win. I told you. I answered. Yeah, this file hasn't changed. Which means something done got messed up. Let's see. Something with tungstenite. That makes me... Oh, I got out of that. We can just delete this, right? Oh, that worked less well than I had it intended. Yeah, see, you guys put me in a rough spot. I answer, and now I sound like a snob. But, you know, if I don't answer, I also seem like a jerk, right? Just no win. No winning. Gotta be careful what you put people in with your innocent sounding questions. What else did I screw around with while trying to get away from native TLS? That wasn't the only things, was it? No, this uses... Oh, it was also this. No. I can do, what? I can do cfind, just... That, yeah. Okay, that was close enough. That was acceptable. All right, so the idea that we're trying to do here is move it so that we can pause Twitch alerts. So I know right now when Twitch alerts happen, there's no way for us to actually pause them. And we want to tell the server, hold up. So that's what we started to do here, right? We did start to do this. I believe we did. Maybe we didn't. Did we not? No, it shouldn't be in this, right? Yeah. I thought we started to work on it, but maybe we didn't. Maybe we didn't. Oh, do you know what? Were we? This was a week and a half ago through blood, sweat, and tears. So I'm actually wondering. This is where I would do it, though, right? I wouldn't have started this in some other place. Yeah, this is still erroring for some reason. I wouldn't do this in some other place, would I? I wouldn't have done this in the AI manager, right? That would have just been really weird. I think I broke off a piece of hair. It doesn't get caught in the headphones anymore. So now it's very annoying. That's what it is. Well, shoot. Now I have the Vec DQ here. Okay. I did. I didn't see it up here. Oh, because I'm not importing it. I literally just spelled out the whole thing. Okay. Whew. It's a ring buffer. Got it. Perfect. Okay. We're here. I'm not sure why I didn't actually just... All right. So this will allow us to pause before sending to the front end. And then here is where we'll also do the HTMX magic, because I think if I was to say that there was a architecture that seemed perfect for this is where it's at. This is where it's at. Okay, cool. Do we try to figure out what went wrong here? This code didn't change. And yet, it is erroring. Let's do that. TLS. We'll just get rid of that. There's nothing else. What about Rust LS? Yeah. One second, I gotta get this piece of hair in my headphones. Let's see. Rust, LS, anything that's... Wait. Was it in this service? It was in this service. Rust LS error. Yeah, Sergeant Pepper, I don't think it was tungstenite. So I tried to switch everything over to Rust LS, TLS, and there was something that was always depending on, I don't know if I can go up there. I kind of started ripping it all out. Let's see. Yeah, here. So there was requests, and like I had it configured to use Rust LS, but it was still using OpenSSL. Oh, did you? I think that's what I'm just going with. I'm just going to use OpenSSL. Like that was I'm defeated. I'm good. I spent like an hour on it. I'm good. So if you had the same experience, I'm happy that it wasn't just me. Now, the funny thing is, the only thing that I've touched is these TOML files. Only thing that I've touched. Well, I did start to touch this file because just now, but the only thing I touched in this whole thing was TOML files, and we have an error in our code now. So like, you know what I'm guessing? We changed versions somewhere. That's what I'm guessing. I pulled a version, and so now this is a different version. That's what it's got to be. That tungstenite. I wasn't passing these in. That's my guess. Let's see. I thought that... so another thing that I did while I was at it and I was touching the cargo files, I moved everything to the workspace, or a lot of the stuff to the workspace. So a lot of the shared stuff, like Tokyo Tungstenite, you shouldn't actually find Tokyo Tungstenite not... So like, let's just grep for this. It should all be pointing towards the workspace, which this is where maybe... Yeah, like, okay. Yeah, they're all pointing towards the workspace. So maybe there was a version that wasn't at 20.0. Actually, what is the latest of Tokyo Tungstenite? This isn't exactly what I wanted. 21? 21? What? We were on 20? Should we update? We should update. We should update. I wonder if this fixes it. I wonder if we were actually up one version. No. We could have been behind a version or two. Some of this code is very old. Very, very old. Do you guys remember what line that was on? Do you? I do not. I do not. All right, let's see. That was on line 44. I told you guys to remember it. Huh. Okay, there we go. There we go. Missing structure field, right buffer size, and max right buffer size. There's no good default. I would prefer to use a default, but I can just make some up. Like, what's a good number? I can make up some numbers. Wait, it says the default value. Oh, I just probably need to set it to none, right? If set to 0, each measure will appear... wait. These are not the ones I'm missing. 1 second. I'm a dum-dum. It's right buffer size and max right buffer. Okay. Right buffer size. Oh, it is a U size. The max size of the right buffer in bytes. Setting this can provide back pressure in the case... no, the right buffer only builds up past... What is it? No, should always be at least right buffer size plus 1 message. Max message size we can do as none. Okay, okay. Wait, was I looking at the right things? Right buffer size and max right buffer? I think I was. Right buffer size, yeah. The target maximum size of the write buffer to reach before writing the data to the underlying stream. No, that's max send queue. Oh, wait. Is this is for this, right? Because this is not an option. This is not an option. There is no default value. Okay. I am reading it right. This one's deprecated. Okay. Write buffer size. I did that one. Okay. Write buffer size. So, write buffer size. We'll just go with what they said the default was, even though there's no default. We'll just go with 128 kilobytes. Seems fine to me. Right? I don't know. Is there a better number? I don't know. The comment shouldn't be out in the comment should be back here. All right. And then we need max write buffer size. Max write buffer size. Max write buffer size. Okay. This one is also not optional. The max size of the write buffer in bytes. Setting this can provide back pressure in the case of write buffer is filling up due to write errors. The default value is unlimited. There is no default value. I'd like the defaults. So my guess is that there used to be defaults, and this is an old comment from when there was. Now, how do I set it to this default? Because I would just prefer that. I'm guessing if I set it to 0. That's my guess. Now, I really don't like magic numbers. You know, having an option here puts it as like, oh, if you pass none, you want the default. Passing 0 is a magic number, but that's what we're going to do. No, we're going to do 0. And it's probably going to break stuff. It's probably going to break stuff. That's my guess. It builds. It builds. Does it work? Probably not. Probably not. All right. Let's go see if they have an example. Tokyo Tungstenite. Let's see. Docs repository. Let's see. I should have just looked up the examples. I have no idea. Let's see. They're not doing this at all, are they? That's fine. Handle requests. Let's see. Yeah, maybe I'm overcomplicating it. Maybe I'm overcomplicating it. Like, they don't seem to, in any of their examples, don't seem to actually set a config, which means they just use defaults. I didn't see them. Yeah, I don't see them setting a config. Starting to think maybe that's what I need to do. If I delete this, there's nothing magic in there. I think I'm just gonna do this. You know, I'm not gonna do that. I'll do that in a different commit. Yeah, let's do that. All right. Let's do git add this, git commit -m, move to workspace, cargo workspace, git push. All right. Okay, that's fine. We pushed some GitHub action stuff. It won't have any effect with what we did, but we'll get pull, git fetch, git pull, git rebase, up origin main, git push. Done. There you guys go. You saw the extent of my... You know, I could have put a -I in here. I could have made it interactive. There's my Git knowledge. All right. Let's see. What were we going to... Okay, so what we're going to do now is just update this to not this. We're going to update this. 44. We're going to delete this. None. And done. Sergeant Pepper, you don't use a configurator. Okay, that makes me feel better. I was probably... I always do this to myself. I come in here, I'm like, oh, I need to pass a config. I might as well pass a config. And then, like, I just want the defaults. I just want the defaults. I'm not smart enough to know these things. Yeah, so I end up doing that to myself. And, switch to default config. You know, a lot of the times, and I say this to anybody that I'm mentoring, like, get fancy when you need it. Like, if your WebSocket needs it for some reason, for performance, for whatnot, like, do it. But those defaults usually came from somebody that made the project. They probably know what decent defaults are. General purpose defaults. And don't try to outsmart yourself. That's what I do. I try to outsmart myself consistently. I have no idea how to spell tungsten. All right, that was wrong. We're just gonna clear that so you guys can't see how badly I spelled it. And we're back. You're not using the async stuff. What? I don't trust upstream. Well, the fact that they changed, it does annoy me. Like, breaking change on what default configs are required annoys me just a little. But I also get it. It's not a version 1.0. So you kind of get that with some of the less mature stuff. All right, we have the VEC. This is what we were going to do. So what we wanted to do, what we've been avoiding for the last little bit, was to first clean up any of this code, but we're going to have to restructure it a little bit. The big thing that we wanted to be able to do was basically queue up Twitch alerts. I almost think that we might need more than a couple cues. Dirk, you found a bug in curl a couple weeks. See, I'm not that smart. Curl's in C, right? C's hard. Is it in GitHub? You know what also upsets me? Is when you tell me a project and I can tell you what language it is in. Not because I've been to curl, but I know the type of people that would write curl. And so my guess was that it was C. Right. There's a little M4 in there. You know, that there's Perl in there and some Python. Good 3.4% of other. That's fantastic. True. 1996, there were not a lot of options. Good point. That was actually one of the things, the age of it. If it was before 2000 and it was a Linux thing, there's like a 99% chance it's in Perl or C. Yeah, I wasn't making fun of curl. Better hardware software than I write. We got to do, well, I need to do an OCaml stream. I'm actually getting to a point where I might be able to do that. I might do a C stream. Like, I do know C, so like, I don't know that that would be a ton of fun. I'm like really rusty on C, but I have written C, so there's like both of those. Like, would it be a fun stream to be like, yeah, I remember this and kind of can stumble myself way around? Maybe, I don't know. I've touched our C code, so our database is written in C, and yeah, I'm in it every once in a while, but reading C is completely different than writing C. I can go through and read C just fine. That's not difficult. Like jumping in here and looking at it, not a problem. I have to think about it. I do have to think about it because I'm like, oh wait. Oh, const chars. Okay, I can't write C. Never mind. We're not doing a C stream. I can't do that. Another one is another one that I'm interested in exploring just to understand better is Zig. Zig to me feels a little weird. It feels like it's in a weird spot. It has some really cool things, like macros are, I know it says no macros, but macros are basically just the language itself, which is cool. And it has like some nice things for memory, like no hidden memory allocations and no hidden control flow, which, like this is pretty big when you're trying to do performant programming. But at the same time, it doesn't have the safety Rust does. So I don't know that I would ever have it as my daily driver because I'd just rather have something that was going to protect me from my memory allocation. So yeah, I don't know. That's a weird one. I do want to do an OCaml stream though. I've been reading up on the syntax just a little. I still find the syntax entirely strange and weird, but it's all right. I'll do it. I feel like while I just reading it's hard for me to read right now for the syntax. I want to actually write an application in it and just maybe that will alleviate the syntax is weird. Or for me, I actually find the syntax hard to read, hard to follow. Again, some of that comes from just writing it. And I haven't written any because I don't want to write it until we do the stream. I wasn't going to learn it on stream, though, because that's like just reading docs for the first 2 days. So I've been reading the docs a little bit in my spare time. I read the docs on my plane. What a nerd. I had literal documentation printed for the plane on OCaml. Okay. Thankfully, I was flying to California, so nobody made too much fun of me. It's a little weird. The back pointer, is that a Zig thing? Like, I haven't looked at much at Zig. Or are you talking about OCaml? Oh. I'll show you the biggest thing that makes it hard for me to read. I just want a bit of OCaml code. First, I'm not a big fat pointer fan. I've complained with it in Rust. I know Rust has fat pointers, so yeah, it's all of its own. And I get that everything is a function here, not a pure function since there is a mutable state. But for me, this gets much harder. This style of declaring things. And again, like I said, I don't know why, you know, something like this is more difficult for me to wrap my mind around. But this is much more difficult for me to wrap my mind around than Rust. Rust reads easier for me. Okay. Let's see. But like I said, I need to just get into it, get my hands dirty, and we'll see. Because maybe it's just reading other people's. All right. Let's see. You know what? Clojure is another good one. I'd actually like to do Clojure. So I think Clojure has like cool ideas. I don't think I would ever want to sit and write a huge project in Clojure, but Clojure had cool ideas, and like other languages have adopted from Clojure, which is cool. Like, and this happens consistently. If you watch it, there'll be these languages that come out and do something, and maybe that language doesn't take off, but people are like, no, they had a cool idea in it. Maybe the whole language built around that. Maybe that's a little bit rough. I'm not calling out Clojure specifically. But there's been other languages to do the same. And it's a cool kind of morphing. You know, if you look at memory safety, it's pretty cool because you have like C++ or classical. C++, the 99 spec. And then you'll see that there was this library called Boost, and when Boost came out, let's just draw this out. I find this fascinating because you also see how we as a community are kind of growing as we like realize problems and patterns to solving those patterns. You know, there's like the C++ 99. C++ 99. And for that came out a really popular library called Boost. If I could type correctly, you know, that would help. And in Boost, you had this idea of a smart pointer. And there was some addition or things that changed on this. So this kind of came after C++ 99, you know, in its tenure of popularity. And then you have C++ 11 that came out. So you'll go with C++ 11, which basically took this and implemented it in the language itself. But made some updates. Like there was a smart pointer, yes, but there was also a unique pointer. There was also the shared pointer. And you know, they built upon the idea. So like they were like, yeah, this smart pointer, this unique pointer thing was cool. This is not the button I meant to click. Not the button I meant to click. What I wanted is this, and to snap this up. All right. And then from this, you kind of got the people like, wow, what if we could take this a step further? And this is where you got Rust. You know, this is now obviously C++ these are going on in tandem here. I don't think C++ 99 is really a thing anymore. But you know, instead of C++ 11, there is actually new standards. What is this? It's like up to C. It's C++ 22, 21. I think it's 21. I think 24 is coming out, right? I think 24 is the next one, but whatever. I don't know. Rust came out about this time. So anyways, this is a cool progression. Now, there's more languages here as well that take a completely different approach. You could take about Java and the virtual machine and Wasm, that's the next Java of virtual machines. You can talk about the garbage collected languages that said, okay, well, we'll take memory, you know, so this is like the non-GC languages. Non-GC. And, you know, there's also like C, which just has like not... C is a honey badger. It does not give a crap. It's like, nah, this is what we've done. We're good. C doesn't change for good reason, but it's just C. But it's a cool progression to watch because you can also, there's a whole nother train of thought with the GC versions, whether, you know, and then like there's all these branching graphs. We need to make a language graph because I feel like this is a graph database problem because we have the functional languages, we have the procedural languages, we have the object-oriented languages, and then we have them broken down into this like Venn diagram of non-GC language. Maybe it's a Venn diagram. This might be a Venn diagram we have to make. Anyways, my point was, I don't care what language you like here. The cool, like, you can hate C++, or you can hate Rust, or you can hate C. It doesn't matter. The cool thing here that you should look at is the trends that happen. Because what happens in Rust and C++ are very similar. These two languages have looked to solve the same problem. And Bjorn, the guy that does a lot of the C++ stuff, Storps, we'll just call him Benji. Benji has even talked about memory safety, thread safety, and those types of things in C++. So I think the really cool thing is looking at the overall trend, seeing what these languages do in common to solve some of the same problems. Anyways, it was a cool topic. I don't know how we got on that. I'm hoping Go eats Java's lunch. You know what? The more Go updates, the more Go says, every release of Go says everything we held to in the past was wrong. And this is not, I didn't come up with this. Somebody said this. I don't know if it was on Twitch chat or to me personally, but this is really starting to resonate. Forever, they were like, nah, we're not going to add generics. Finally, they were like, yeah, it sucks that we don't have generics. And then they were like, nah, we're not going to have single thread. Well, they're still not single threaded. But, you know, we still don't have subtypes. Subtypes is probably, wait, does Java have subtypes? Does Java have some types? With sealed interfaces and pattern matching. That's a little weird. Okay, okay, so maybe Java is just as garbage. Maybe Java is just as garbage. I feel like algebraic types is a mandatory for a language these days. They're just so powerful. They're just so powerful. The fact that what Go has for enums is what you get is a shame. It holds the entire language is worse because of it. And that's like a pretty, that's a pretty big statement. To say like the entire language is worse because of it is like a pretty big statement. But like, I think most people wouldn't disagree with me. That being said, I write a lot of Go, so. I was one of the people that embraced Go because of its simplicity. It allured me with, hey, look, we got rid of a bunch of this stuff. But like, that's what they've been doing, is like they got rid of a bunch of this stuff and they made this small little itty bitty language. And now every single release, I don't know what happened to that. Every single release, they're like very, very slowly making it just as big as Java, which I have a love-hate relationship with, because the beauty of having this small language is gone. The language, every single time they make it one of these iterations, the beauty of this is diminishing. But everything that they add feels like a necessity. Every time they add something, you're like, no, I have written so much crappy code because of the lack of generics. For anything system related, you need the generics, and like it just wasn't possible. But now it doesn't feel like the simple language anymore, and it still doesn't have things like algebraic types. So I don't know. I go back and forth on that. All right, queuing. We're queuing. We probably need... Oh, what I was going to say here is we probably need two different types of queues, right? So part of me thinks that how we've architected this is bad. Well, I mean, that is for sure. So right now we have Twitch alerts, and a thing pops up anytime there's event. And right now there's no queue. So new event goes straight to the UI. Basically what we're building is a new event goes to some queue, goes to the UI. But I think this needs to get even better than this, and I'll explain. What about a raid? What about some of these events? Maybe you want the UI to be able to listen to two queues. Or possibly even you want to have two browsers up on your OBS for them to show up in different spots. Maybe a raid you want in the center full screen. And maybe this queue you want to happen, like the Twitch alerts of now, want to happen just the same way. Right? So, new Other event. I don't know which events these will be, and I don't know how many we should break them into. You know, like, should it just be important and non-important, and then you can pick which ones go where? Because for me, like, a raid is something that, like, is time sensitive, and I kind of want the raid to happen before any of these other ones happen. So, like, let's say I've had it paused. I want to see that the raid happened before I get to anything in this queue, right? So that I can, let's say like 20 people followed and somebody raided. I'd like to see that the raid happened and get the notification. And then we can like thank the followers and stuff. I don't know if this all makes sense. This is what I was just thinking. So I think we're gonna go to just the single queue first. We'll make this a dotted line. This is just me thinking. And then actually the one thing that we're gonna do is this is going to be, I think. Yeah. I think we're going to do this HTMX, and because it actually feels like a really good thin client. You want to display nothing until you want to display something, and you'll drive all of that by HTMX on the back end, because this is basically the queue, and you render it out and you just render the stupid thing that you've pre-rendered on the back end. I think this is what we're going for. And this will give me a really good not to-do app. You know, the last thing that I did with HTMX with just a to-do app, this will give me kind of a real world app. All right. So I've never used this vec-dequeue. What I need is to put messages in it now. Let's see. We got a message. Okay, message. Wait, when did we send this? Oh. So this is the receiver. This is sending it to the thing that's gonna send it out. Okay, I got it. All right. Let's follow this through. I got it. I'm not sure I totally got it, but I haven't been in this code for a very long time. Let's see. So we have our listener listening to the TCP. We spawn on this receiver. We're waiting. We get a message. When we get the message, we're going to send on this TX, which is stored in the state. Got it. I got it. Cool. And that should be down here, right? Handle connection. Yeah. And here's our WebSocket receiver. All right. Where's our RX from here? Where are we using RX? Ah, okay. So, yeah. Okay, this is where the magic happens. That just took a little while to get down to. You know what? I need to get a drink. I'll be right back. Thanks everybody for joining in today. Give me a minute to run upstairs and get a drink. I'll be right back. I'm gonna play an ad. So, we're about to play an ad in 12 seconds anyways. So here's an ad 9 seconds early. I'll be right back. Sup, Monta? I'm not leaving because of you. I'm leaving to get a drink. See you in 3 minutes. All right. What do you mean is that observable? RX is a unbounded receiver, right? It's just think of it as a channel. It's a channel and go. So what is happening here is basically we're getting messages from any backend. Any backend can send this thing messages. In this case, it's particularly the AI. The AI thing is the only thing that sends stuff to the front end at this point. And so this gets those messages. That gets those messages and then basically replays those to any front end that's listening. So this is the back end getting all of those messages from various locations, and then this is it basically sending them out to to any place that's actually connected to it. So you'll see that there's an accept connection, and this is the handle connection. And so for every single WebSocket, which the front ends create a WebSocket to the back end, for every single WebSocket connection, they do this. So basically every single front end does this. Now this will change a little with HTMX, right? Ooh, does HTMX allow you to do the WebSocket just push thing, right? Maybe I can't do this with HTMX. Does HTMX let you replace all HTML via server? I might not be able to drive this. Because HTMX is all client driven, right? While it's a dumb client, it's all client driven, right? We could have the client polling, but I don't know that this would work. I just thought of that. So I don't think that that's true. I don't know that I can use HTMX on this. Or I don't know that it would bring, let's see. Ooh, it has a WebSocket extension. So maybe we could try this? Oh man. Use the following attributes to compare how WebSockets behave. Okay, so we can maybe do this. Okay. I stand corrected. We should still be able to do it. It's going to be a little bit weird. We'll have to use the WebSockets extension. Cool. Okay. So basically, instead of sending this, so like we would send this, we'll have to send an HTMX to the client, basically. Instead of just sending the message. Right now, we just send the message. You know, yeah. That's okay, though. All right. I find this funny. If we get a message from the WebSocket, we just send it back. Okay. That's interesting. Yep. Let's actually update this to do. Oh my goodness. To do. There we go. Let's see. Okay, so we'll do this, then we'll manage the queue here. This is where we're gonna queue messages, and we'll send them one after another. Now, where do we? Oh, do we need to actually decompose this message here? What type of message is this? Do we actually have it? Let's see. Do we know what type this is, or are we just sending some binary blob? I feel like we're actually just sending some binary blob here. Let me look at how we set this up. Right, do we actually... We should pass it as a display message, right? Because that would be fantastic. Yeah. That's fine. What are we passing for our TX, right? What is our sender? Mr. Togglebit, how are you doing? It's been a while since I've written Rust. Some might say I'm a bit rusty. I'm good. I had a really long week last week. My brain is still kind of shot. I'm tired. You about to start streaming? Oh, dude. Traveling for me is a pain. There's one thing. Unless if I want to go to Chicago or Dallas, Texas, which are never two places I'm flying. Like, I literally just never fly those places. I have to take a connection. And it means that it's a long day for me. It is a long day. On top of that, I took all my stuff to stream with me across the United States like an idiot. And like, so when I finished streaming and I ate dinner, it was past midnight before I had packed up. And then like I had to leave for my flight at, I had to leave. My Uber picked me up at 5:30 a.m. And then, you know, I got home at like, well, I got the plane and everything. I got picked up by the kids at like 8:30. And then, of course, we had to go get ice cream because that's what we do after I've been gone for like 4 days. So we went and got ice cream, and this was the slowest ice cream store. It was like 10:30 before we got home. I was destroyed. I am still recovering from that. That's my long story. Oh, are you okay? Ice cream recovery? The ice cream is for the kids. It hurts me. Hey, ice cream recovery is pretty rough. Let's be honest. No, that's not what I want. I want to put it in the queue. So what was this? That's better. That's better. Oh. Yeah, so this is probably good. I probably don't want to do what I'm doing. You don't want to stream word wrapping again. Sorry, I've been silent in your stream. I've been, what is that called? Lurking. I've been lurking some. To be honest, when I'm lurking though, I'm not paying attention a whole lot. Here and there for bits, but. I was gonna say, you're toggle bait. You're lurking all wrong. You're lurking all sorts of wrong right now. I don't think you know what the word means. I'm fairly confident you and I have a disagreement on the different definition of the word. Just throwing it out there. You know, I don't mind you lurking wrong. Like, this is not me hating on how you lurk, but it's fine. You lurk how you lurk. That's fine. But yeah, we'll talk about that word later. Yeah, I'm gonna bring you up to 21st century terminology. I usually am the person that's behind, so I feel like I shouldn't be teaching this class. Yeah, I feel like I shouldn't be the one teaching you, but, you know. Yeah. Banned. Reason incorrect lurk. Look, if you're gonna lurk, do it right, okay? You're like, either lurk or don't lurk. I don't care either way. Okay, I am thinking here actually while we're chatting, just so you guys know. Oh, I hadn't actually thought about this before. We have this run function that basically runs the just runs the connection state. And what I'm thinking now, which is why we don't have a reference to self here. This is just the handler for a connection. So we should probably channel that back. That sounds gross, but we should probably channel it back. Because what we're trying to do is build up this queue. And so basically anything that gets handled on the WebSocket should get inserted into this queue. We could just mutex lock the queue. That's probably fine. The vecti queue. And then just pass it out everywhere, but that feels rough. I feel like that's not the right way to go here. I guess it would only be new connections that would have... No, it wouldn't even be new WebSocket connections, right? It would just be the backends that have it, right? It would just be this. We don't have to even go here, right? Ooh, that's right? I was going to handle it here. But I could have my own receiver. Oh. Because I can just enqueue it when we actually get it instead of sending it to the front end. I'm an idiot. Okay, good talk. Good talk. Yeah, Toggle. We can take it offline. I can message you about some of these words that you're using, like cool. I can, you have to pronounce it, when you say it verbally. You gotta say it like that. Tubular. Psych! I'm not good at that type of stuff. Had you? All right. I don't know if your side of the pond. Your side of the pond had psych, but that was like 10 years before I was born. Yeah, leaf water. I much prefer bean water over leaf water. Although, that being said, a good Earl Grey is hard to beat. Like an actual quality Earl Grey, I do enjoy. I do steep a nice quality cup of Earl Grey every once in a while. Oh yeah, Sergeant Pepper. I was gonna say, like, of all the teas out there, like, that is one that I can truly appreciate. There's others. Like, I can drink tea. Shoot, I live in the South. If nobody knows what the South is, they are known for their Southern sweet tea. And the thing is, people will be offended if their they all taste the same, overly sugared tea. But if you don't let them know how good their sweet tea is, so I can do tea, but I do not like that tea. That is the grossest. It's sugar water. With some leaves mixed in. All right, so I don't want to catch it here with the WebSocket. This is where we will do whatever rendering we need to for the front end for our WebSocket. Right, so that means I can actually catch the queue here, and then I'll turn this into something that just is turning on the queue. You don't like some leaves in your sugar. Is that what you're saying? It's not exactly what I was saying. That's not exactly what I was saying. I also don't like just sugar in my water as well. Mine was more additive. There was a lot of things I didn't like about that statement. Not the fact that there was leaves in it. Do you guys have mint plants? We grow some mint, and I like putting mint leaves and stuff. I do like doing those leaves in things randomly too. It's not always good, but in hot chocolate, it's amazing. You put some mint leaves in your milk as you're steaming it. There's money to be had there. There is money to be had there. I like it with my, not to sound snobbish, but my toasted caramel, my toasted salted caramel hot chocolate with a little tang of fresh mint in it is amazing. Is amazing. It is something your taste buds just will start singing in your mouth when they taste it. It's an explosion of flavor. And is quite amazing. It's also a ton of work to make. It's like 15 minutes a cup. Oh my goodness. Way too much work. All right. Sorry, I got super sidetracked. We're looping here. Okay, so what we need to do is actually build up our state here. Build up our thing, because this is where we're going to get our messages, and this is where we're going to get our state 2. Our state 2 is here, and this is where we're sending the message to the front end. So while we're preparing this, we'll continue to send the messages to the front end to, let's see. Well, can't type. To do, let's see. Build a message queue. Okay, now let's see if the AI can do it. If TX, I have no idea what it's doing. No, just write code. Code. Sometimes the AI is more dented than I am. Come on. Give it to me. All right. So let's see. Now we can do self.message queue pushback a message icon. Beautiful. Arguments are incorrect. It's gonna say that display message found string. Right. We're just passing a string. Can we change this to not be this? Can we do? Ooh, actually, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Now, one thing I don't have is space H. Why don't I have space H? I actually found this in my config. Let's find it again in our config. That's what I wanted. So we redid the Vim config and it's not space H anymore. And I found out what it was, and I didn't change it to space H again. Because, well, I didn't think about it. All right, let's see. We're looking for LSP stuff. We're really looking for... here we go. No, I want like information under the symbol. It's leader K. Is that what it is? That is not what it is. Yeah, there's no K. Oh, it's capital D. Nope. I got too excited about that. That definitely was not. LSP type definition. That's like taking me to the type. You're on Kickstart too? Did you just update it? So the type definition is like, I just want a pop-up of like what type this is. Which, I mean, I can like go to the definition, and I guess like this is useful. Like I'm going to the definition, but I wanted to like just display that it was a display message. Like that's what I wanted to know. That's all. Oh, Shift K. Oh, now I feel lied to. Now I feel lied to. Like somebody lied to me straight on stream. Let's see if I can find that. Pull up a log there. You know what? You guys might think that I'm harsh. You guys do it to me all the time. One day you guys are like, yeah, this is where you screwed up. And it was like an hour before in the stream. And one of you went through the time to go find it just for me. So, okay, Shift K. Do I go back to space H? Because that's what I've done. Or do I try to just leave it as Shift K? I've been trying to leave as much stuff just what Kickstart is. I can do Shift K. I will forget it again by now. Shift K. Okay. 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 I got it. Okay. So we can delete this. Throw this over here. Put that up one. We can enqueue the message here. Yeah. Why can't we borrow it here? Wait, we're just cloning. Cannot borrow self.message queue as mutable as it is behind a reference. Oh. Ew. I'm trying to be better about making stuff mutable. Now, I have two ways around this. I could go against what I was doing here, and I could just make the message queue not part of this whole struct. Let me think about the better way of doing this. We could remove this from being part of the struct altogether, and then just pass it in the run, and it will only live here on the run. I'm almost feeling like that's the way to go. The other way is to have a mutable reference to self and keep mutating self. Because the message queue is on self. But I don't think we needed it that way, right? No, I don't think we do. So I honestly think that we can do just effectively let mute message queue equal vec dq new. And then we can just delete these. And then we'll just manage it all here. I think this is better. I think this is the right way. I would ask you, chat, but you guys have been lying to me in the last 30 seconds, so. You know, trust lost. All right. Now we've got to do all the timing stuff. Oh, snap. We were doing this in the front end because the front end was pumping its own queue. And now we've got to pump the queue back here. We've got to like drive the queue. Okay, so now my question goes back to, do I want it to be part of self and to be on a different loop? Okay, so this queue probably needs to be arc mutex. right? Because what I probably need to do is have one reference here and then another thread that's just dealing with pumping the queue. Okay. Let's do this. Type message queue. Yeah. But you did it wrong, AI. You didn't read my mind. We need a mutex. Wait, I need an arc first. I don't even know if that's vaguely useful because now I just have to make it here. So maybe that was not even vaguely useful. It will be because I'll have to pass it somewhere. I'll have to pass it somewhere. Yeah, this will be fine. I wish my code came out like toggle bits. Every single time he goes, he's written more Rust than I have, that's for sure. But every single time he comes out, I'm like, man, that's like my 6th iteration of that function. Your counterproductive bit. You're lurking wrong again, Toggle. Step away from the keyboard. Step away. We'll work through this one lurk at a time. I appreciate your lurking, by the way. You're pseudo lurking. Not pseudo as in like elevated permissions lurking, but like not really doing what you're saying you're doing lurking. All right. So then we need to obtain a lock here. Maybe that. Done. Although we don't really want to do this. Maybe we'll call this message queue arc. That seems dumb, but whatever. All right, so then we can lock it, we can get it, we can push back, done. What we're going to do to make this a little bit more efficient is we're just gonna throw not those, but these around this. Yeah. So that we can just let go of that, you know, let go of that lock a little bit sooner. Okay. And now we're gonna keep current, let's see. To do delete this as we have a message queue. So this is the old way of dealing with it. This is not a to-do anymore. All right. So then we can delete all this when we have a message queue, because the message queue is the thing that's going to send forward to this. Okay. We'll leave this here, though. So then are we thinking of something like, I'm kind of half thinking of something like this. Async function, message queue. Ooh, this is actually looking really close to what I was thinking. So we'll have a TX, a message queue. Wait. Do we need a TX? We'll need state, right? Because this is sending. I guess yes. This is almost why we need it to be part of self, right? Because self has these things. Self has the connection state. So we're moving this stuff where TX is coming from. Well, TX is coming from state, and state is coming from the self. Shoot. Now have I gone a full round? Let me go back to seeing what it was saying. Let's see. Actually, I'm just gonna accept this and look at it. So pump message queue. It's gonna loop. This isn't quite right, but it's a decent starting place. I actually like this. It did a clever piece of Rust. I have not seen it do a clever piece of Rust in a long time. That actually looks decent. It might be wrong, but okay, so they're getting a message. Interestingly enough, there won't be nuns in here. Nuns or nuns. Neither of them will be in there, but so yeah, this is definitely wrong in some way. Oh, pop front probably returns a none, actually. Never mind, it's probably not wrong. Yeah, it returns an option of T. Because it will return none if there's nothing in it. Yeah. Okay. If the queue is empty. Okay, fine. I stand corrected. I haven't ever used the vec dequeue. All right. I am back, Cypher. I'm super tired. I'm not making much sense right now. I think this will work fine this way. I might get going actually because I was thinking about streaming a little tomorrow morning. I want to do the Eddington architecture. I want to do the Eddington architecture or the null cloud architecture. So I was thinking about making a video on that and doing that tomorrow morning. Yeah. I need to do more educational ones too. I need to do some like distributed system ones. Oh, thanks. So I was looking through. I'm gonna post the VODs, so I've cut them up. I didn't realize my voice was so echoey. It was a hard problem, and I didn't realize it was sounding as bad. I'm kind of upset because it doesn't sound. I like really focus on trying to get my sound because like you guys are listening, and so I was kind of upset with how those recordings turned out because what happened was we're in this room, and so like the guest was sitting here, and I was sitting over here. And you guys, it's hard to impossible to tell. And so these are the microphones. But my voice, I don't know what it is about it. Ask anybody that knows me in real life. My voice carries. Like nothing you would believe. So these are the mics. I'm doing way too much work to recreate this, but this. Okay. So my voice is amazingly carryful. It's very carryful. And so what I was having a problem with, and this is me here, and this is other. I'm gonna have to work on this next time and make sure to remind the people. These people were sitting away from the mic. And so I was having to turn the mic up because I couldn't get them to like get close to it. And so I had to turn my mic down so that I wasn't like overbearing and like much louder than they were. And what happened was that after bumping up the volume on this, so this one had extra volume and this one had less volume, you could hear me on both. Both microphones could hear me. So they sounded really great because only their microphone picked them up, but I sound echoey because both microphones are recording me. And it kind of sucks. And I'm kind of upset because I'm like, oh my goodness, some of those like are half ruined because of like, thankfully I didn't talk a whole lot, but yeah. Rob, I know. Also, Rob, you rated me, and I was in the middle of the thing, and I had alerts turned off, and I'm so sorry that I didn't call. You know what? And so we're doing it right now. If you guys don't know who this is, let me. What is it? It's not. How do I shout out? It's shout out. Shout out. Rob has been doing some amazing, absolutely amazing, educational stuff on Go. If you like Go and want to learn more about Go or just want to see somebody that knows it really, really well, RWX Rob is the stream to go. So go follow Rob. Oh, Toggle, are you still lurking? Toggle was lurking just a second ago. I had a very strong lurk from Toggle. Last I knew, though, he was still seething. Seething. See, I don't think I'm joking, by the way. I don't think I don't know your guys' conversation, but it does not strike me as something Toggle would be that upset about. So I'm kind of caught in a cornerstone. That's not the right word. I'm kind of caught at a crossroads. I come from Go. I come from Go and Kubernetes. And I've on the side been learning Rust and doing my own stuff, and so we'll put my Rust crossroad here. My handwriting is terrible. I'm at this interesting. I'm right here. I'm right here, and it's a very weird spot for me, Rob, to be honest, because like there are things that I think are serious issues with Go. And then there's reasons I understand why people don't love Rust as much as I do. Like some of the borrow checker and all of that type of stuff slows down refactors. And I think Go is way faster at some prototyping and stuff like that. And just getting some stuff done and out there. And so like I think that it has its strong suit there. But then something like algebraic types from Go, or the fact that they don't have them at all, and you have iota, is just rough. And like you get used to these sum types from Rust, and you're like, my goodness, this changes the entire concept of the language and what you're able to do. And so yeah, I don't know. I'm at a crossroads. I don't know. Rob, what do you think of HTMX? So I don't think governance doesn't enter into the equation for me. Like I could make complaints about Go's governance too. Because you know, this is governance doesn't enter into it. The Rust Federation, you know, goes all federations. It is what it is, but it doesn't really change how I use the language. It's just like if I love C#, just because Microsoft controls it doesn't really change how I use the language or whether I like the language or think it's good. So I don't know that I put much weight on the governance, but yeah, so yeah. HTMX, funny that you ask. I am classically not an enjoyer of HTMX. I am classically not an enjoyer of HTMX. I am doing this project right now, so this is my Twitch alerts, Rob, and we're going to use HTMX here. So the only thing I've done other than this with HTMX is a to-do app, and I don't like HTMX, and I can get into why. Like, it's kind of a long. We'll do that. HTMX, where I'll actually make a video on that. I'm trying to do some of the live stream videos as well. So I'm trying to do some of those. So let me do one on HTMX. What does that go under? I don't want a new category. We'll just do it under tools. And this is difficult because, like, I'll say that I don't like HTMX. It doesn't mean that you can't like it and that you can't make amazing things out of it and that maybe it's amazing. There are very specific reasons I'm not a big fan, but like with most things, it, you know, yeah. The separation of concerns argument is kind of old these days. What do you mean by that, RWX Rob? The separation of concerns argument is kind of old. Oh. I So interesting. I kind of look at it. We as software engineers tend to do this. I don't know if you guys know what a seesaw is. It's a thing that's born of pain and suffering. It's basically one of these things that looks like this. And if you know what a friend is, it's what you lose when you try to use one of these things with a friend. Because what happens is you will be here, right here, having fun. And your soon-to-be ex-friend is going to be here. And what happens is they cannot help themselves but to jump off right now. Very painful experience. But this actually has to do with our conversation. Is that I feel like engineers have a tendency, and I'm grouping myself into this as well, and I don't mean this as a bad thing. It's something we do, and you know, it's something to be cognizant of. We will say this sucks, and thus we will move here. We will go all the way. We will say, oh well, nobody sits on the right side of the seesaw. We'll just move everybody on the left side of the seesaw. And now it just sucks. It also sucks. This is not fun. Nobody's having fun. But we do it in like these extremes where like maybe we could both sit here, and I'm coming to this with like the separation of concerns. I feel like there's this extreme separation of concerns that's way out here that has every little like view model, back end. The back end is doing like this dependency injection, multiple interfaces, cascading separation of everything. And your simple application is complicated because of the extreme separation of concerns. And then we're like, wow, this sucks. And so we go all the way over here. We're like, let's get rid of all of this. And we go all the way to the other side. And in the end, it's like, well, this also sucks. Like smashing everything together and forgetting everything about separation of concerns was also a bad idea. And I think this is what you're getting at with the HTMX. And I kind of agree with you where like, I feel like it's throwing the baby out with the bathwater. And there's probably some happy medium. I'm not saying I know exactly where that is, but and I mean, we do this with a bunch of stuff. You know, for a time it was like you have to have every line tested in a unit test, and that sucks and is not even useful. And then it's like there's just like it happens all over the place. You find something that's good and then you abuse it. That's literally what we do as engineers. We find something that is good, sacred, and amazing, and then we abuse the crap out of it because it legitimately solves a problem. It legitimately makes something better. And then we fall into this trap and this habit of this is what I'm comfortable with, this is what I've been using, and I'm just going to do that again. All right, Sergeant Pepper's banned. Sergeant Pepper's banned. You went too far. You went too far. I'm just joking, Sergeant Pepper. I like to say that we have to consider the different types of web: doc, app, and streaming. That's actually a good take, Rob. I hadn't thought about that. I'll have to think if it's just 3. But they're all very different, right? Their needs are different. Not to, and I'm not like trying to say, there's also different types of apps. So like by that, I mean like I have been a part of an app that basically allowed you to drag stuff around and build out a restaurant with chairs and tables and like a whole bunch of stuff. And you could drag these around and position them. And there was a whole bunch of madness to this. And so you could have like server routes and stuff like that, where you could like be like, this server is going to serve these sections and this server is going to serve these sections and whatnot. And a whole bunch of stuff. This was a complicated application. It wasn't something that I think you could even begin to argue HTMX would be a good fit for. I don't know. RWX Rob, I have said this so many times. You tell me like their bias, and I'll tell you what they've done a lot of. Like 100%. You tell me their bias in tech, and I'll tell you the majority of the things that they've done. Because they'll have done document websites. I hadn't ever thought of it as the doc app and streaming. I'm still mulling it over, but I like that concept. But I have said this before, where you tell me their bias, and I'll tell you what they do a lot of. And then you get these camps that disagree because they can't see the other person's side. So my bias here is I have done a lot of microservice and microservices architectures and things like that. And so when I think about a lot of things, I think about them in that type of context, where most of the time I want to avoid state. I want to avoid state at all costs. And I want to put this in some backend database. And this is actually one of the reasons I like Go, is because this right here, this problem right here, Go solves really beautifully. And let me show you what I mean. I just need to align these things. It bothers me when they're not aligned. Okay, so Go solves this, I think, really beautifully, because you don't need generics. You can keep the language stupid simple. And all you're doing is you're taking something. You're taking some request. You're doing something minor. Some minor business logic. Some minor biz. And you're saving it to a database. Or you're doing the inverse. You're getting that and returning it. And for this right here, Go is absolutely amazing. It's simple, it's stupid, it doesn't have the features you need, but you don't care because it's amazing. Because this is all you're doing. You're just messing with a little things, checking a few sums, and then you're just slamming it in a database. Now, where I think Rust makes a huge appearance is when we're talking about, one of my projects for the next few years is Project Legion, which is going to handle orchestration across multiple nodes. And so when you're talking about this thing, this much more system level thing that has a lot of complicated logic, sorry, just tidying this up. Okay. That has a lot of complicated logic that really goes well with generics and a really fantastic type system because you actually care about the types. In here, you might not even care that it's just a JSON thing, and you might not even deserialize it from the JSON. And at best, you just have a JSON type, and that's like all you care about. In here, it's way more important. This thing is going to be orchestrating across machines and maintaining machines. And so this is where then the Rust people come out and be like, no, Rust is amazing, because this would be suicide in Go. This would be suicide in my personal opinion. Not saying that you couldn't do it, it just wouldn't be nearly as nice. But this is coming from two different problems, two different perspectives of the problems that you're trying to solve. So anyways, I like that. Go follow Rob, guys. Hey, I'm a Rust person. I'm a Go and Rust person. So I get hate on by both groups. Both groups will be like, I can't believe you do Rust. And then the other people will be like, I can't believe you do Go. It's exhausting, let me tell you. Neither one is happy that I do that I do either one. You're a Go learn Rust person. Anyways. Sorry. Minor rant, but my point was, like, a lot of us have experience solving a problem, and that's where our bias comes from, because we've solved that problem a lot, and we have it's hard for us to comprehend the different problems that other people are going to deal with, and how they could be wildly different than the problems that we are. If you're talking about a simple document site or a blog, I think that HTMX might be amazing. If you're talking about a complicated app where you're moving servers and stuff around with dynamic elements and things, I think that I'm not gonna say impossible, but it might be absolutely horrifying. Game engine would also be another one. I have looked at Bevy. We're gonna make a game later this. I say later this year. We'll see. We'll see. There is Bevy. I was gonna use I don't think I'm going to use Bevy though. I think that I'm going to use I think we're gonna make our little game in Godot. And I know this sounds lame, but it's because I'm not good at making games, so having a full package of all the tools and tutorials, like, I'm not saying that I couldn't make the same thing with Bevy, but the thing is, as awesome as the Bevy community is, and I'm not hating on them in any way, the Godot one is probably bigger and better. And if you're learning, this is probably an easier place to learn, is my thought. Rob, I have said this. I have said this exact same thing. Check this out. Like, so when I argue against Go, like, one of my favorite things to do is go to github.com and pull up runc. You want to know one of the reasons I can point at and say, oh, Go has legitimate issues in the language, and it's because there's this C, and it has this C because Go literally cannot guarantee you that the kernel call will come back to the same thread, and because of that, they actually have C in there that the Go can call out to, that can call the kernel. Should this be in Rust? This should be in Rust. 100% Rob. This should be in Rust. Yeah. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. And that was kind of my point that I was trying to make. These more system level things, these things that have heavy client side logic, I think honestly push themselves towards Rust. Easy. Because again, I got into all of this just to say, you tell me a developer's bias and I can tell you what they've worked the most on. Because of this. If your experience came from making things like Run C, and I can tell you that a lot of the people that have actually worked on this, from Sasha, this guy, Sasha, this is Alexa. Sorry, not Sasha. Alexa. Sasha is another one that's in this contributor list. This is Alexa. I know both of these people, and both of them would have preferred it was in Rust, and they've done a lot of stuff on it. They've done a lot. This is gonna take forever, but Sasha and Alexa have done a ton of work. They would have preferred it was in Rust because they have that experience, and that's. But again, this was coming back not to where I think Go and Rust play the best, but it was going to my you tell me the bias of an engineer, what they like to use, what patterns they follow, what patterns they don't follow, and generally I can tell you what they do in their day job. That would actually be a fun game show. Maybe I'll do that. Would people sign up to tell me their bias and see if I can't guess what they do in their day job? Sounds kind of fun, actually. So Cypher, what I would do is I would ask them a bunch of questions, like, and they would be like yes or no questions, like, would you use React or HTMX? Would you use, just I don't have the list of questions. I'm just saying, like, I would come up with a list of questions like that to try to judge their bias. I don't know, because a lot of the times when I'm talking about the bias, it comes from like having conversations, which would be a little bit more difficult for them to express, and it would be too easy for them to accidentally leak what they were working on. So I think we'd have to refine it to yes or no, which would make it more difficult, for sure. Firecracker is a good one too. Firecracker is a good example of a good Rust project. Another one is Legion. Another one is Legion, right there. Yeah. Actually, you were talking about Chris Nova. Chris Nova was working on a good Rust project. Not that. It was Aura, right? Let's see. Not this one. Where's the link to that? I can try yours, Rob. That would be another good one of a a good project where Rust is really, really good. And just to be honest, Go wouldn't be good. Go would be Go would be a bad pick. Oh, you guys found it. Oh my goodness, I'm such a bad Googler. I hope this doesn't die, because I actually wanted to use this for the backbone of Legion. I wanted to use this as the backbone of Legion. But it seems like people are not contributing much to it anymore. I might have to rethink that. Anyways, Rob, this all started from... I'm super sorry. I was doing an event and I missed your raid. And I hope that you weren't offended because I didn't say anything. Because A, I completely missed it. And B, I had notifications turned off. So, thank you so much for the raid. And sorry I missed it. And, I felt bad. I had intermissions, and I was so exhausted by the intermissions that I didn't actually check those things. Or I missed it the times I did check it, and I didn't get to give you a shout out. I'm a bad streamer too. Actually, it's getting late for me. I should probably call it quits for right now, because I'm probably not gonna stream in the morning. I wanted to do some educational ones in the morning. I'm probably not. I'm pretty beat, honestly. I'm sorry, Rob. Thanks for joining, everyone. You know what? Let's find somebody to raid. I was just gonna peace out there, but I will do my due diligence. I will find somebody to raid. Is there a good person who is a smaller channel that could use a raid? There's always a Bad Cop is streaming. We could raid Bad Cop. Bash, probably. Who knows? Is there a smaller streamer that... there's the Quantum Apprentice. I know that we've raided Quantum Apprentice before. I say small streamer like I'm not a small streamer. That's like another small streamer. You were laughing at Neovim. My list is also empty. Rob, you do realize that I'm using NeoVim. You realize this. Bring it on. We should have a feud. I haven't had a feud with somebody, another Twitch streamer. We should start a feud over something completely ridiculous, but it will give me something to say in your streams when I lurk, because I mostly lurk in your streams. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and raid Bad Cop because I'm out of options, and not that they're bad or anything. I always like to try to find somebody that, you know, I for the longest of time streamed to one person, and so I like to try to pass it on. Thanks for following. That's awesome. And I'm gonna try to do some more of those educational streams where we have a topic and actually record it as a video. This week I'm probably going to be a bit slow though, because I am tired. So, I'm a bit, set back from last week. So go see what they're doing. And, I will see you guys in a little bit. Just move to Helix. See you guys.